All right, guys. Same lineup as last game. We can fire away.
Someone's muted.
Is Rhiannon on here? Sam?
Hey Kendall, Sam 48 with the Washington Post. Thank you for taking the time. The last time we talked, you kind of weren't sure what your role was going to be. I guess kind of now that we're a little closer, kind of what are you expecting for this season?
Right at this point right now, we're just all just getting out there, just trying to learn the system. Learning from different positions. Just learning the ins and outs of the defense, and just grow each day, get better each day, and just start kind of learning each other, build that camaraderie. Learn our strengths, our weaknesses, getting down to communications and things like that. So just taking it step by step, day by day, and just trying to, our goal is to just be one of the top defenses in the league.
I know, obviously, you like being outside, and you play a lot of nickel. Do you think there could be a situation where you would maybe be at corner and base and in nickel when you guys are in nickel? Like could you bounce back and forth like that?
Yeah, I did it my third year, my first year with Kansas City, but I think it's just all going to depend on what's best for the team. We got a lot of talented guys in the secondary. Just see where everybody's strengths, weaknesses is, and just at the end of the day, just putting everybody in a position where we can go out there and win football games on Sunday. So whatever that is for any of us, that's where we want to be.
Great, thank you.
Hey, Kendall, John Kine, ESPN. There's also a lot of talk, and you did this in Kansas City, about dropping back to safety. Why do you feel that? Because not everybody can play those roles. You can line back there, doesn't mean you play back there, but you seem to be able to do it pretty well. Why do you feel that you can play both those spots?
Just ever since I started playing DB, really once I got to Tech, Coach Gray was big on us just learning the ins and out of the defense, not being able to just lock in on one position. And, Coach Harris, he's that same type of coach. He wants everybody to learn the defense, know where everybody is supposed to be. So even when I'm in meetings, if they're talking to the safeties, the corners, nickels, we're listening, we're learning it. Coach Harris, he'll ask the corner sometimes about the safeties and ask the safety sometimes about the corner, just because at the end of the day, in a long season, you never know what's going to happen with injuries, guys being down and this and that. We want to have that flexibility to go out there on a Sunday and do whatever we need to do to win.
And then also during the whole lockdown quarantine period and all that, what was that like for you? What did you do? Was it difficult? Where were you holed up?
It wasn't too difficult. For me, all I did was work out and golf. Go out there in the morning, get my workout in, and then golf the rest of the day, just because it wasn't too much to do. But it wasn't too bad. We definitely had to be a lot more cautious. Working out in the gym and things like that, making sure we're wiping everything down, and definitely being cautious of that. But still able to get that workout in, go out there on the field, work drills and things like that. So, I was definitely still able to keep working.
Thank you.
Kendall, this is Nikki Dabala from the Washington Post. How has it been working with Chris Harris so far, and does it mean more to you to have a former player as your positional coach?
I enjoy it. Just the energy that he comes, even in Zoom meetings, where it's easy to kind of just be laid back and kind of dry, but he still comes with that energy, comes with that passion. It definitely helps having a guy that played it, because he knows exactly where our heads at, where our mindsets are, what we're seeing, in the games and in practices and things like that. But, he's been, getting us right, teaching us the ins and out of the system, and just being that energy spark for us right now. And, we're going to have to take that energy spark over for him once we're able to start getting out there on the field.
And as far as your versatility, do you watch a lot of tape on other guys who have a similar skill set? Did you, be it former players or current players, is that something you do a lot of?
I watch my brother a lot. But yeah, you just, even being around, I feel like it's just certain guys that you get around that you respect, that you just learn from them. For me, being in college, it was my brother. Once I got to the league, even watching guys like Dunny, J-No, Bree, D-Hall, Swag, just picking things that they did well, trying to add that to my game. Once I got to Kansas City, learning from guys like Tyron, Eric Berry, Steve Nelson. So just picking up strengths from each player that I've been around and try to just apply that to my game.
Hey, Kendall, it's JP Finley from NBC Sports Washington. So it's funny talking to you now versus when we talked to you before the trade to Kansas City. You come back to Washington as kind of the veteran, as a leader. What's it like for you to be in that role? And specifically, a guy like Jimmy Moreland probably needs to be really versatile. He's a guy that a lot of the coaches have talked about. What do you see in Jimmy?
Just his mentality. You know, he just got that dog mentality, and he's a playmaker. You know, even just I haven't been able to be around him on a daily basis yet, but just watching him on field, the way he likes to compete, doesn't shy down from anybody. And you know, for me, just I've always been just trying to be a leader by action, just showing, you know, how I prepare for Sundays, you know, during the week in the weight room and things like that, and just, you know, make sure that they see that, so they know, you know, the things they have to do besides on Sunday to be the most productive they can be on a Sunday.
All right, switching gears a little bit. The quarterbacks are always in their own little category, but who's the best golfer on that defense?
Best golfer on the defense?
Yeah.
I don't even know if a lot of guys golf. I know Jonathan Allen is starting to golf. I don't think he can beat me though, from what I've heard. But my biggest thing right now is I told Tress and Dustin that the day I got signed, my main priority was to come back in this locker room and beat them in ping pong. So that's the focus has shifted from golf to me being the ping pong champion, and I made that known to them. So I think that's why they got rid of the ping pong table.
Thank you, Kendall.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So yeah, I was curious about your perspective, being a guy who, you know, you were in this building under Jay, then you leave, and now you're back. How are things different? How is the vibe different?
It's way different. You know, everybody's still trying to figure it out, but you know, Coach Rivera, he's just trying to, you know, build that culture. You know, kind of just shifting everyone's mentality, and you know, I think the good thing about it is just everybody's just, you know, trusting him, you know, and just going full steam ahead and just giving all our trust to him, and just like we said, just trying to build that culture, a sustainable culture, and you know, we got to do that day in and day out to build that. So that's what we focus on.
All right, I got a golf question too. So have you always been a golfer? Have your brothers, or is this like something, it was a quarantine thing, now you're good at it?
Nah, I haven't always been a golfer. My brother Kyle, he's been golfing for a while, and a lot of the times we're in Arizona in the Offseason together. So after we work out, he would go. My first Offseason there, he would go golf, and I would just chill in the crib, and I would be bored, so I just start going with him. And I'm so competitive that I'm like, all right, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I need to start so that eventually, years down the line, I can beat him eventually. And I might stop then, but I don't know. But I definitely got to beat him. I got my work cut in for me though.
So you haven't yet then?
I'm not even close. Not even close.
Hey, Kendall. Apologies if this was asked. I got in here a tick late, but obviously, some guys around the league have been opting out of the season. Just curious your thoughts on that, and how, and did you contemplate possibly opting out of the season as well?
I mean, I respect any guy that, you know, decides to opt out. You know, just focusing on their health and their well-being. You know, especially guys that has families, wives, children, and things like that. So, you know, any guy that's putting that first in their life, you know, I definitely respect it. Maybe a little bit easier decision for me because, you know, not married, don't have a family, don't have kids and things like that. So I live by myself. But, you know, definitely me being cautious with my mother, you know, my nephew and things like that. But I definitely respect any person that decides to, you know, opt out for the safety of their family.
And I know obviously you haven't been around the team per usual the way you would during a normal offseason, but what do you sense is, if anything, is different between what's happening now under Ron Rivera versus when you were here the first time with Jay Gruden and that regime?
I think just Coach Rivera is just trying to build a different culture. You know, we're just coming in every day with the right mentality. You know, like Coach Rivera, he always makes sure when he talks about culture, he always makes sure he says sustainable culture. And you know, I think all of us is just kind of the biggest thing right now is just building that trust. You know, Coach Rivera wants to trust us. We want to trust him. And, you know, I think that's our main focus, and that's what we got to build day in and day out. You know, I think that's a good reason why so many of us are happy to be back in the building.
Thank you.
Hey Kendall, sorry, I just got to keep this going with the golf before my serious one. What's the best area of your game where are you most confident right now?
Best area that I'm most confident in. If this was a week ago, I would tell you my driver. But I can somehow hit my driver anywhere but straight right now.
Okay. Relatable.
I would say right now I would say my putting, but
Okay.
it always seems to find out once something gets good, the other thing gets bad. So the more I probably focus on my driver, I'll probably start hitting my driver straight and then start three-putting everything. So that's golf for you.
Yep, I wish you the best of luck. 3 putts are never fun. So football-wise, I'm wondering, I know you guys just recently got back together. You're still kind of getting used to new players, but have you had any early initial impressions of Chase Young, whether on the field or off the field, how he carries himself?
Just as a professional, you know, and I haven't been around him too much, but you know, you see him. I think I saw him after just getting in a couple sprints today. You know, he just kind of has that vibe when you walk by him. You know, he doesn't seem like a rookie. He seems like a professional. He's hungry. He wants to work. You know, being he's number 2 pick. Seems like he's not even thinking about that, but he's just thinking about you know, being the best player he can be on Sunday. So, you know, it's definitely a good attitude and a good vibe for a rookie to be carrying around.
Thank you.
Hey, Kendall, I was Carpenter at the Washington Post. Welcome back. Quick question. I'm just kind of wondering, have you guys talked a lot as a team or amongst yourselves, whatever, about, you know, now that you've got this this disease out here, this virus, and I mean, is there anything about not going out, about trying to make sure that you're not getting yourselves exposed because now you're all together as a team? Have you talked much about how to do that, how to handle that?
I mean, Coach Rivera, you know, I think one of the first things he told us was, you know, when it comes down to the end of the season, it's probably going to be whatever team has been the smartest, you know, outside of the facility. You know, they set up everything in the building, you know, to keep us safe the best way they know how. And, you know, it's just us to just be professional. Just be professional once we get outside the building. You know, keep ourselves safe, keep our family safe, and just keeping each other safe. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, just so many people talk about us being athletes and just whether on the field, off the field, just being professionals. And, you know, I think even in this case, it's the same way. We just got to just go about it as a professional.
Are you one of the people kind of, you feel because you've had a little bit of experience that you are maybe one of the more leaders on that and trying to monitor that, or is everyone kind of on their own, or how does that work?
No, I mean, we're all in it together. You know, when it comes down to if guys aren't doing the right things off the field and it's affecting us as a team on Sunday, it's not just you can go ahead and just do whatever you want. You know, we're all in it together. We all need each other. So, you know, we'll definitely police ourselves. You know, we'll stay on each other, talk to each other. And you know, that's what a good team, a good family does, and just holding each other accountable.
Hey, Kendall, it's Chris Russell from SI.com and 106.7 Fan. Appreciate you doing this. Is there one or two things that maybe you took from your 2 years in Kansas City behind the scenes that were maybe integral and part of building that championship team and championship culture that you can transfer over just from your experience there? Or is it just kind of, you know, every organization is different, every building is different?
Nah, I think one of the main things that I think I picked up from Kansas City is just like when you're in the building, the work never stops. You know, they always had us doing walkthroughs a little bit early before practice. If we got to get out there 5-10 minutes early, getting out there just to get more reps in. You know, if you're in a period and you're not doing nothing, instead of just sitting there on the sidelines and just chilling, you know, let's get up, do something, even if it's just something that's playing catch, doing little ball drills and things like that. You know, I think that was probably the biggest thing that stuck out to me. You know, when we were out on that field, it wasn't no sitting around. We working at all times. And, you know, I think I know Coach Rivera, you know, he's already like that. But, you know, it's definitely something that I took from Kansas City.
Thank you.
Chris Kerwin from NBC4. What was your favorite memory when you were here with the Redskins? Was it like the interception against the Niners or the Giants the last second? The interceptions are big, but those last second big.
Favorite memory with the Redskins in my 2 years here. I just said that to give myself more time to think. I would say the Niners interception was the Seahawks game. I enjoyed the Seahawks game because I remember the defense playing big, the whole game. And then I think it was one of the last series. The defense we didn't hold our own, and the offense kind of came back through and bailed us out. They had been struggling the whole game, and they just stayed in there, kept battling, kept fighting, and came in there and made plays at the end to help us win the game. So that was the first, and I liked my interception. So.
Hey, Parrish, you can go. I don't think Scott or Wine was on.
Thanks. Hey, Kendall, nice to see you. I was just curious, obviously you won a Super Bowl, it's the main goal, but how would you evaluate your performance in Kansas City? Just how do you feel like you played over those 2 years?
I think I did pretty good. Definitely never to my expectations. I think just the different challenges each year I was there. First and second year just playing only nickel, and then going from playing outside and base to inside and sub packages, which is an adjustment just because you got to make sure you're prepared for both. And then my second year having the surgery, and I think the second year after breaking my thumb, the second year in a row, I was definitely a little bit more cautious. But Tyron that came in hot, with that safety nickel role, so having to also play that role, which was a big adjustment for me. So it was a lot of things a lot of adversities that I was facing, but just battling through them. And, I think that was the beauty for me, especially like the late playoff run in the Super Bowl, just knowing that all the adversities I had pushed throughout the season with the thumb, going out there and never playing safety in my life, and going out there and late in the season and playoffs games. So just pushing through those adversities just kind of showed me that I can fight through anything during the course of a season.
Even before the second thumb injury, during your second year, you weren't seeing the field as often, but was there anything did you feel more refreshed not playing that many snaps, or how did that kind of reduced workload maybe help you? Or
say that one more time.
How did your snaps were a little bit down your second year, even before the thumb injury? Just how did that kind of reduce role, or you were asked to do different things? Did that help or hurt your game? How would you kind of evaluate that?
My snaps weren't down before my thumb injury. It was just. If you want to say down, it was just they had just decided just to.
You played 100% of the snaps your first year.
Yeah, my first year in KC, I did base corner and then sub nickel, and then my second year they kind of just let me focus on nickel, especially with the new system and things like that. But it felt good out there. Especially first 2 or 3 games. I think us as a defense, we were just learning the ins and outs of the system, learning what we could get away with, what we couldn't get away with. And once I got hurt, I wasn't able to be out there learning the ins and outs, this, that on the field, but I was in the film room being able to learn the ins and outs. And us as a whole defense, we were just able to hit our shot at the right moment.
Rhiannon?
Hi, Kendall. Rhiannon Walker with The Athletic. Nice to meet you. As far as how things have gone so far in practice, Chris Harris told us that you guys are all just being called defensive backs, not cornerbacks, not safeties. He's going to move you guys wherever you're most comfortable. So far, where do you feel like you've been most comfortable in the practices?
Corner and nickel. Playing corner my whole life, playing corner, at Tech all the time. Even my first 2 years here, in practice playing a little bit of corner, playing nickel, the whole time I've pretty much been in the league. So anytime I'm at corner and nickel, it feels comfortable for me.
You mentioned the fact that, obviously Jimmy Moreland is somebody that he's very high in favor in the row. How have they been, how have you seen them being utilized? How do you feel like they've done so far in the practices? Just what have you seen so far and how you guys have been used around?
All of it's just learning. Kind of everybody just getting on board, learning not just focusing on themselves, not just saying, oh, I want to play this position, so I'm only worried about this, but, we're in there rotating with each other, asking each other questions. And, everybody just open, just learning the system, knowing that, at the end of the day, they're gonna put us in places where we're trying to go out there and win football games on Sunday. So, just the open mindset that everybody has right now, and the willingness for everybody to learn the defense and just get each other better mentally right now.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.